It's a book about a mediocre U.S. Marine assigned to a radar squadron in Japan. That Marine was Lee Harvey Oswald. The missing chapter, Lee Harvey Oswald in the Far East, is actually written by another Marine, an intelligence officer who was also stationed in Japan. Jack Swike spent over 2 decades researching Oswald's activities overseas, and last January, unfortunately, he passed away. But his daughter, Jackie, is still telling her father's story, and she is joining us this afternoon. Jackie, welcome.
Thank you, Steve.
First, let me express my condolences over the loss of your father.
Much.
You're carrying on his story and telling that story. And fascinating book. Your dad was a Marine. He was an intelligence officer. And beyond that, what was his interest in Lee Harvey Oswald?
Well, basically, like most Americans after the JFK assassination, he read anything he could get his hands on to find out more about Lee Harvey Oswald. And it was then that he realized, hey, he was a Marine. He was stationed at the Atsugi Naval Air Station, the same place my dad was stationed at. My dad was there from 1956 to 1957. Oswald arrived a few months after my dad left. In 1957, 1958. My dad was an intelligence officer, as you mentioned. Oswald was stationed, he was actually in a separate part of the base, so they never met. But my dad, because he was a Marine and was intelligent, knew how to gather records on Oswald's activities as a Marine. We're not solving the JFK assassination here. No. We're just looking at this brief period of time, which few people realize probably set the course for the rest of Oswald's life, which, of course, was a great tragedy.
But it does raise a lot of questions, because it seems like so much emphasis is placed on Lee Harvey Oswald's time in the Soviet Union, which is fairly well known, although your dad's book brings out some new information, I think, with regard to that. But Japan? That wasn't widely known.
Well, the thing about it, my dad was an intelligence officer for what was called MAG 11, Marine Air Group 11, and he had access to top-secret information. What few people know about Atsugi Naval Air Station during the years my dad was there is that the U-2 spy planes were there, and there was an atomic weapons assembly team there. So what my dad was trying to find out was, did Oswald have any information? He knew that those activities were going on. He was stationed there. He would see U-2 planes taking off and landing. He may not have known everything about them because he didn't have a top-secret clearance. But my dad believes that some of that information Oswald probably took to the Soviet Union, which enabled him to live as comfortably. They rewarded him because, as you know, he was living like a prince, whereas others did not.
700, 800, 900 rubles a month, which was a significant amount of money in the Soviet Union.
Yes, actually getting quite a bit more, but then, of course, he changed his mind and came back to the U.S. But as a former Marine and a fellow Marine, I think my dad felt very betrayed to have learned that, you know, a Marine of all people could have possibly been involved in the assassination of JFK.
And how is it that somebody who is generally thought to be mentally unstable, Lee Harvey Oswald, could have possibly had access to such classified information as a U-2 spy plane?
He did not have it. He was in, Oswald was assigned to what is known as MAX 1, Marine Air Control Squadron 1. He was a plotting board operator. He did not control U-2 operations. That was a CIA program. Not even my father had access to that. So that is a myth. That's something my dad talks about in the book. Oswald was a mediocre Marine. He was court-martialed twice. He would not have been given such responsibilities.
I think it's important for readers to know that this is not just another book on the Kennedy, on any conspiracy about the Kennedy assassination. But did your dad have any strong opinions on who killed JFK?
You know, he felt that there was so much misinformation out there, and that this was happening in such a period that so many people were dying. I mean, he's gone now, that any information out there, we needed to get it right away or it will be lost forever. He believed that Oswald was involved, but that he would not have been smart enough or mentally stable enough to have carried off such a huge conspiracy.
Well, congratulations to you for carrying on your father, telling your father's excellent story, Jackie.
Thank you very much.
Jackie Swike. More on Jackie's father and the book online at themissingchapter.com, or just head to our website, wgntv.com. Best to you, Jackie. Thank you.